Howdy, friends. Steve DePel here with the Rose Realty team with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. Before we get started, we ask you to go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Do Real Estate Texas. There's no charge, but you will be alerted to updates and changes to our series Spotlight on Community, Focus on Small Business, and of course, our weekly real estate updates on North Texas. Thank you. Let's get started. Today's topic, 5.5 common for sale by owner mistakes. Now, if you followed my vlog here for about the last 3.5 or 4 years, you know that for sale by owners is something that we're kind of passionate about here at the Rose Realty team. Partly because what we really hate is when people leave money on the table. Okay, when a person misprices their home because they don't have all the information, they don't know how to do it, and either they leave money on the table by pricing their house undervalue, or they overvalue their house and price it too high, and so then it sits, and then costs the seller more money in what we call carrying costs. Okay, so which happens to be the first mistake, misunderstanding the correct market value for their property. Now, there's a lot of different ways to price a house out there, right? If I could say, hey, well, my friend down the street sold their house for this much, mine is much better, mine is bigger, mine is blah blah blah, and so I'm going to price it higher. Or well, their house is better than mine, so I'm going to price mine $70,000 lower, whatever. Whether it's pricing the house too high or pricing it too low, it's just frankly a big mistake. Okay, so if you price it too high, it's going to sit, and it's going to sit, and it's going to sit, and people are going to say, why is this house sitting so long? There must be a problem with it. Okay, and then eventually it's going to sit and kind of stagnate. Okay, if you price it too low, then what's going to happen is people are going to look at the house and say, well, wait a minute, I kind of think this house is worth $60,000 more than they're pricing it at. What's wrong with the house? Probably needs a new roof, something like that, right? And so not understanding the market value and the demographics and the demographic that you're going after, okay, then you price your house incorrectly, and you either leave money on the table, or it takes you, a long time to sell your house. I actually was just doing a little bit of research, getting ready for this vlog, and there are some houses out there. They look like they're really great houses. I think they're priced too high, and they've been on the market for about 9 months. That house needs to take a break. Those sellers need to take a break, reset, get an agent, call the Rose Realty team, and reset the price, so they can sell it at a more realistic value for the house. Not making the house as attractive as possible. Just last week we talked about staging, right? And if you watch that vlog, staging is real important for 2 reasons, right? So people want to put themselves in that house. When people come and look at your house, they're going to put themselves there, right? And they're going to put themselves there, going to say, can I see myself living in this house, right? And whether it's the flooring or the carpet or the furniture or whatever, can I see myself living in this house? And unfortunately, people don't have phenomenal imaginations, okay? So it's going to have to be almost perfect for them to be able to see themselves, wandering around this house, cooking in the kitchen, reading a newspaper in the family room, those kinds of things, right? And so you have to stage your house properly, which then makes it the most attractive as possible, which then we take the best pictures. So it's a domino effect. So we take the best pictures as possible, because something like 90% of people do their first searching for a house on the internet, in any number of sites, right? And if the house doesn't look attractive and the pictures don't look good, okay, the house isn't going to attract potential clients and buyers, and then it's not going to sell. Okay, marketing in the wrong place and failing to market in the right channels. Wow, that's a mouthful. So we're talking about things like YouTube, and we're talking about things like Google, and we're talking about Facebook, and we're talking about Twitter and Instagram and those kinds of things. And there are also other sites out there, naturally, like Realtor.com and Zillow and blah blah blah. Okay, so those are the minimums. Okay, something that, like, for example, Keller Williams offers is a couple of different programs where we can market to just people, part of our network. It's called Goal Management, and just, we can market to people and realtors in this Goal Management, and that's something like 20, is it 20? It's like something like 20,000 realtors. Okay, part of Go Management, and then their clients that they've entered into this database. So we're probably talking about, 500,000 or so clients. The realtors have entered into this database, so they're going to get marketed to directly. Then if we're talking about Keller Williams overall, we're talking about something like 150,000 agents or something like that, and then all of the people that they've entered into the database, which is millions. Okay, and so we can market to those people, but marketing to the wrong spots and to the wrong locations and not covering all your bases is going to give you a potential problem when it comes to marketing to the right people. Not understanding all the paperwork. There's classes that as a realtor I have to take to understand the paperwork. Okay, and some of that paperwork is just massive. And do you understand the owner to broker contract agreement? Do you understand the 4-to-1 contract? Do you understand the leaseback contract? Do you understand the third party financing contract? These are difficult contracts to understand. Excuse me, this is difficult paperwork to understand from a professional, from my point of view, much less somebody who's really in marketing or engineering or accounting or something like that. So you have to understand what all of this paperwork's all about, because if you fill it out, if you either skip the paperwork or fill out the paperwork incorrectly, or just out and out, blatantly make purposeful errors. I don't want to say lie, but make errors in the paperwork. Then there could be legal ramifications down the line, and you don't want that. You don't want to be living comfortably someplace after your current house and have somebody knocking on your door saying, here's a subpoena. Oh my God, I'd be like the work. I can't imagine. Anyway, you got to understand all the paperwork, and there's plenty of it. Not knowing the terminology of property rights. Property rights is pretty detailed, and you have to understand them. So especially then bringing into the works for sale, not for sale by owners, sorry, HOAs, homeowners associations. So you've got to understand the property rights and how homeowner associations come into it. And a lot of people don't understand that, and that's a mistake if you don't understand what the property rights are, and who potentially is at fault, and who's liable, and who the legal system would back up. The details of actually selling your house. Not understanding those details is going to cost you dearly if you don't understand them. So you have to be available for showings at all times of the day. Okay. Sure, you can say nobody before 9 o'clock and nobody after 9 o'clock, but are you available, for example, at 1:30 in the afternoon to unlock the door and show your house? Okay. If you're living in Denton County but working in Dallas or Fort Worth, if you work in Dallas County or Tarrant County, then you're gonna have to drive home and unlock your door, kind of thing. So not understanding the details of the paperwork and financing, answering questions. There's some questions you probably kind of don't want to answer, or you don't know the answer to, and you don't know how to answer those correctly. You want a real estate professional on your side to kind of help you understand what those questions are, what the ramifications of your answers are, and how you get them in the hands of the potential buyer correctly. That's why frankly, real estate agents are licensed and bonded. I was going to say licensed by the state of Texas, and then we have agencies like Keller Williams, with our back, with training and that kind of stuff, to understand these details and the paperwork, et cetera. And so why I've had conversations with Rose about, what would we do if we were going to sell our house? And I said, I'd hire a real estate agent and let them take care of it. Okay. Because I'm sort of too close to it, number one. And number two, let them take care of the details, let them take care of the paperwork. Okay. We'll work a deal on the commission, but let them handle it. We'll do everything we can possible, but let the professionals handle the sale of your house is what it comes down to. Next week, kitchen remodeling. Okay, cool topic today because of all the people who are choosing to remodel instead of selling and buying a new home. A lot of people are choosing to remodel as opposed to just moving out or moving up. This is Steve DePoe for the Rose Realty team. I'm going to bounce.